Richard.
Morning, Randy. How are you today?
I'm good. We've got Mark Hoskins with us. How you doing, Mark?
Good morning.
I
Glad
got
to have
my
you with
favorite.
us.
Yeah, I got my favorite local coffee brewery today. There's no beer in it, but there is great coffee. So it's all good. But it's a whopping 14 degrees here, Richard, in
Yeah,
Indiana.
yeah, it's pretty chilly. Pretty chilly.
Yeah, and then
We're
of course we're. Go
chilly
ahead,
at
Mark.
38.
Chilly at 38.
Yeah,
Yeah, 38 feels like 60 here.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, I assume everyone had a good weekend.
busy but good.
Same here.
Yep. Yep. So we're here to talk to Mark a little bit. Mark is a practicing band director at Wheeler High School in Cobb County, Georgia. Very happy to have him on here. Mark, what's been going on in your world? I know we saw you last Tuesday or Wednesday evening for our webinar, marching arts webinar. It looked like you were multitasking at that point with some jazz stuff.
Yeah, we're a little bit busy here. Wednesday night, we have every 2 Wednesdays, we get our district honor jazz ensemble together. So we go 7 to 9 on the evenings after a long day at school, but the kids really love it. And we've got a nice concert coming up in April with John Faddis, and we're just getting prepared for that. And this weekend, we actually had symphonic camp, so it's been no rest for the weary here for sure.
I bet. I bet. So we have a big event coming up in June, and it's called the Marching Arts Intensive. And we've got just a world-class faculty. Guys, if I mention some of these names to you, just give me some input here. Chip Krotz, Marie Chapinski, Beth Fabrizio. There's our first three.
Chip, I mean, incredible ears, incredible talent. He's a next door neighbor here as well. He comes in and works with us every now and then. So that's out of, I mean, just starting out with that name is pretty incredible.
Yeah,
And it's
Chip's
Beth.
yeah,
Everybody loves Beth.
amazing player, Chip Krotz, and also just like Mark said, unbelievable teacher in charge of the Blue Devils horn line right now, and I know they're going to be amazing under him. So that's going to be fun to watch and listen to. And of course, Marie and Beth are two of the finest out there. Obviously one on the effect and color guard side, and the other one on the music side. So yeah, it doesn't get much better than those three.
Yeah, and here's another one in your backyard, Alfred Watkins.
Yep, lives across the street from me.
That's great. Well, you
Yeah.
guys can fly up here together in the summer for the Marching Arts Institute, travel together. That's awesome. And then we have Nola Jones, Scott Johnson, and Scott Chandler from the Blue Devils.
Three nobodies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, who are those people again?
Yeah.
Nobody in particular.
Right, exactly. And for those of you that don't know who Scott Chandler is, he's a designer for the Blue Devils and responsible for numerous DCI titles. Just a really great person, and he's going to be doing a presentation on show design with a couple other folks. Marie is one of them, and we'll mention one of the other ones here in a second. Tim Lutzenheiser, Mark Hoskins. Who is that guy?
I've never heard that name before.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Tim's going to be doing some leadership things with Frank Troika, who's also going to be there. Neil Titus and Tony Lyman. For those of you that know those guys, I mean, wow, Tony
Yeah.
Lyman is doing the sound design for Carolina Crown this year. Just a wonderful person. And Neil Titus, also a sound design person for numerous winter drum lines and marching bands, the director bands at Fossil Ridge out in Colorado. Just wonderful experts on the electronic orchestration part, which, the curriculum. Richard, can you talk a little bit about what the curriculum is going to include at the Marching Arts Institute, just in general?
Yeah, sure, Randy. I think one of the reasons I'm so excited about it is because it's going to be a little bit of a practical, hands-on type thing for directors. It's not going to be just sitting in clinics all the time. It's going to be actually watching some of our amazing teachers and clinicians work with a group that we're going to have there. And it's going to be We call it intensive, and it really is. I mean, you're going to get all kinds of experiences. You're going to hear from, as you already mentioned, some of the best people in our activity. And the good thing about all those people, Randy, as you know, is they're not afraid to share anything that they know. It's kind of what we find in this activity is the more you know, the more you're willing to help, and those folks are no exception. So the hands-on, the practicality part of it, plus just getting ready to or being able to sit down and talk with those folks about questions you might have and those kind of things, it's going to be an amazing experience. So I can't encourage folks more to come out and check it out. And if you can't, do it virtually, but we'd certainly love to have you in person.
Absolutely. And we're going to live stream from the rehearsal field. So I think one of the other things that's important for the participants, potential participants out there to know is that it's going to be a very organic process. We're going to have an 84-piece lab marching band that's going to include color guard, front ensemble, and drumline. And, who knows what we're going to run into. And Richard, you've done those types of situations before where you come in and you work with a band you haven't worked with before. Mark, I know you've done that. So it's going to be very organic. And so, the participants are going to get a chance to see how we problem solve some of the issues that you're going to see, whether it be in a section rehearsal or a fundamental rehearsal or a full ensemble rehearsal, which is going to be really exciting. We're also going to have Steve Vento and Lindsay Vento. They're going to be involved in the whole process, but one of the specific focuses for them is going to be doing some consultation clinics with each of the participants. So if you're attending, you'll get an opportunity to do a drive-by on your show design to get some early input before you put anything on the field. Guys, talk to me about Steve and Lindsay. You guys obviously know them as well as I do.
Just innovative. I just think of Lindsay and what she's done in terms of the programmatic side for the drum corps and the bands that they've worked out with on the West Coast. And it's very innovative, it's very approachable, and it's still accessible to those that may have a difficult time being able to do that type of show design on their own. I mean, it's just, I go back to what they've done with both Academy and some other groups, and it's crowd pleasing, but it's also pleasing to the performer, so they can communicate to the audience and still get that vibe that they bring to the table.
Yeah, I think they're both. What I think is special about both of them is that not only are they great designers, but they understand the entire part of the rehearsal gamut as well. And so as they're designing something, they're thinking about how it's going to be rehearsed. They're thinking about, is it realistic? Is it practical? And so it's just it's a wonderful duality that I think they bring to all of it.
Excellent. Okay, here's some more names. No, we're not done yet. We got a long way to go. Kyle Young, John Phillips, Jordan Lalama. Richard, I'll let you chime in on those folks.
Yeah, well, obviously, John is a great friend, the chief judge for DCI, and he's also chief judge for BOA, along with myself and NOLA. So that's he's just the best of the best, I think. And then, Kyle Young is currently at Carmel High School, and he's part of the reason that program is so successful. He's an incredible director and also a woodwind specialist, but just smart. He's just so smart about how he does things. And Jordan is a former student that I'm just super proud of. He's become one of the leading visual designers in the country, works with groups like Broken Arrow, Brownsburg, et cetera, et cetera. He works with groups all over the country, and he's constantly on the road, and people love what he brings to their program. So I'm very, very proud of him, and that's a pretty strong trio right there as well.
Yeah, and I'm going to let Mark speak to these folks because at least 2 out of the 3 of them are fellow Georgians, and that is Freddie Martin, Dean Westman, and David Starnes.
Wow, I mean, the names that you've mentioned have just been incredible. I get the chance to be a part of this, but I'm actually going to be gleaning some things from everybody myself. I can't say enough about either of these guys, but I will speak on one in particular. Freddie Martin is my mentor. I've known Freddie since 1980, and I was under his direction for Spirit for 4 years, and he allowed me to come in and teach. And since my coming to Cobb County, he's always been someone that I could lean on and throw things to see what he would think, and he would give me feedback, and he's just always been there. Dean, obviously a brilliant mind, just another icon in the activity. And then you have my bro that's right up the street from me, David Starnes, who has helped me out considerably in my years here as well as a program coordinator and also just a confidant and mentor. So, I mean, we just can't go wrong with any of these names that we've mentioned.
Yeah, and like Mark, David is a new add-on as a Consumer clinician, and we're so fortunate to have them as part of the team now in the Division of Education. And I'm going to leave it with this one, and that is our color guard person. Yeah, we're going to have color guard too, and that's going to be Jennifer Lessett. And Jennifer has been involved with, oh my gosh, numerous drum corps. She's a real good friend of Rosie Miller-Queen, and just comes highly recommended. Has been involved with several high school programs, most notably Marian Catholic over the years, taught drum corps. Had a great conversation with her a couple of weeks ago, and really, really excited to have her as part of the team to replace Rosie. Rosie had a conflict with the WGI board meeting that week, so she's not going to be able to do it. But we're very, very confident that Jennifer is going to be a great replacement for Rosie, and again, comes highly recommended from her. So, the main thing, guys, I think would be let's continue to get the word out. The registrations are going great. We're going to take as many people as we can live in person. It's at Bethel University in Mishawaka, Indiana, June 15th, the evening of June 15th through the afternoon, late afternoon, about 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on the 17th. And it's going to be 2.5 days of wonderful professional development as part of the umbrella of Consumer Institute, which starts on the 12th. So there's a bundle price if you want to do both. Great experiences, and just not enough time to go through all the clinicians that are part of Consumer Institute. But the marching arts staff is strategically wonderful, as we've seen this morning. And we encourage you to go to the link that Beth is going to post here in the chat and register and get your spot for one of these clinics, whether it be virtual or in person. Well, thanks so much, guys, for having the time to talk to me this morning. And Mark, keep up the good work at Wheeler.
Hey,
and
trying to keep it in the middle of the road.
Yeah, keep pushing some of that warm weather up north to Indiana
Yes,
for Richard
please.
and I.
Please.
Hey, we should be getting a little push up your way here in the next couple of weeks.
We hope. We hope.
We hope.
Thanks for
Well,
being
take
here,
care.
Mark.
Yep. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you next week on Coffee Talk.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.